For those of you pastors, what this man is about to say in this video is going to make most of you very, very angry.
The one I heard recently, they said Jesus does not make people rich. They said the disciples never made anybody rich.
Whether you are against Apostle Michael or whether you are not against him, let's be honest, at least for once. Let's agree with him that Jesus Christ is actually in the business of making people rich. Let's just agree with him. But can we go to Dubai and preach this same message of Jesus Christ making people rich to the king of Dubai and tell him, give your life to Jesus, he will take away poverty in your land, he will make you rich and your kingdom very, very rich, and then give him example of one Christian in Nigeria whom Jesus made rich and even richer than the richest man in Dubai? Can we preach this same message to the king of Dubai? Because truth is consistent, and anything I can preach to the poor and I cannot preach it to the rich, it means that something is wrong with my message. Anything I can preach to the poor masses here in Nigeria, and when I arrive Dubai, I cannot preach that same thing to the people in Dubai. Something is wrong with that message. And it goes a long way to show two things. That is, it is either I am taking advantage of the poor masses, or I'm just being foolish, like I don't know what I'm talking about. And none of this is good, to be honest. Just imagine I appear before the richest man in Africa, Alhaji Dangote, to preach the gospel of Christ to him. And I am telling him, give your life to Jesus. He will take away poverty in your life. Jesus will make you a billionaire. And then I begin to give him the principle of kingdom wealth acquisition that we have been taught, which is number one, you must pay tithe, as anyone who is not paying his tithe is not going into heaven. He has to pay tithe so that God will open the windows of heaven and pour out blessing upon him that even his womb, his bank account, will not be able to contain. And two, he has to sow seed of faith so that God can come through. And then I give him example of Abraham that gave his only begotten son. You know, like one man of God that said he gave God $1 million, and God said, boy, you can never be broke. And then Dangote look at me and discover that 1 minute of his expenses is more than totality of my net worth. What kind of eyes would that man use to look at me? He will see me as a beggar. He will see me as like my foolishness, my arrogance. It will undress me before the public. Jesus make people rich, right? Can you give me just one example of a poor man who came to Jesus? He came to Jesus poor and broke. And then Jesus prayed for him. And then he went home and became a millionaire. Is there any example? Instead, Jesus was busy calling the rich of this world out of their riches into a true riches of the kingdom. He said to the rich man, sell all that you have, give it to the poor, pick up your cross and follow me, and you will have an inheritance in heaven. And the rich man felt so bad. And Jesus Christ said that it is easy for a head of a camel to go through the eyes of the needle than a rich man to enter into the kingdom of God. Spare me all this theory. Anybody can say anything he wants. Just let's let go the theory. Let's go into practical, because the only way we can verify our theory, whether it is true or false, is when we put our theory into practical. Can we practicalize what we are preaching? Can we practicalize our message? Do we have any one example of a poor man who, went to the apostle, broke, and then the apostle of Christ prayed for him and he became rich? Or they sowed seed into their life and the big people became rich? Do we have any example? When we try to discredit a man of God, another man of God, who is preaching the gospel in truth, who is being sincere about the preaching of the gospel of Christ, perhaps we can get jealous and then we try to discredit him. People are watching. People are listening. And these people, they have the Spirit of Christ, the Spirit of God inside of them, the spirit of discernment, and they always know the truth. And even if this is the first and the last time we are ever going to be sincere and honest, let's be sincere, let's be honest, let's be truthful. Drop your comment below.